Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another video on an advanced action in Agent.ai. And this action that we are talking about, if you go to Add Actions Advanced, actually is one about two advanced actions, the store variable to database and get variable from database. And this is some new functionality that was recently added. And so again, like all the other videos, we'll start with why this is important, and then we'll go into kind of the what it is and how it works. And so oftentimes when you're working with an agent, you are processing some data, and sometimes you have a need where that particular data needs to be stored in a kind of persistent way across agent execution runs, and then you want to be able to retrieve that at some other point of time. So you have the ability in this case to store a variable to a database and then get the variable from a database. Um, a kind of good example, and the one that I will demonstrate in the video, is one where, let's say I am interested in finding my LinkedIn followers, the count of my LinkedIn followers, and I want to see that over time. Um, so what I will be doing then is, writing an action that goes to LinkedIn based on my profile, pulls in my follower count, and then I can use that store variable to database to store that in the database. And then if I set this up where it runs on a schedule, let's say every day or whatever it is, then every day it's going to go run that agent, get the value, and then store it in the database. But I don't have to stop there. I can also, in that same agent, get the variable from the database while I'm, executing it, and get the historical values. And so the get variable from database not only lets you get that particular value, but you can also choose to get a historical uh, values. So I could now say, get me the last 10 values, the last 30 values, and what it's going to do is going to get that historical trend over time. And so the agent that I have, and in this case, I'm going to show you the actual agent before I run this. Uh, this is a pretty straightforward agent. What it does is it takes as input your LinkedIn handle, and then after that, it asks for your email, and I'll tell you why this is useful. Then using that LinkedIn handle and using LinkedIn connector, I'm going and getting the profile information of the person, passing that profile information to an LLM, because from that profile information, I want to basically extract my LinkedIn count. And so there's a lot of information in the profile, one of which is my LinkedIn follow count. And so I want to extract that, and I'm going to store it in out underscore followers underscore count. And so that's where I'm going to store it. Then what I want to do is now take that value and store it in the database. And so this is where, if you were to go to the advanced tab, store value to database, this is what would pop up. And if I go here now, I click on it, and you'll notice that out underscore followers underscore count, that's the variable. That's the value that I want to store. And this is the name of the value that I want to store it in. And so I am storing it under my LinkedIn handle. So that's basically what it'll get stored as. And so I could go and select the value over there. And so this is my LinkedIn handle. And so whatever my LinkedIn handle is, so in this case, if it's VA Comber, the value is going to get stored under VA Comber. And so this way, anybody else could come and run this agent and give their LinkedIn handle, and their values will start getting stored under there. So the database can store multiple values over there. And then once I store that, then the next activity here, what I'm doing is I'm also now going and using the get variable from database. And I'm saying, go look for that out underscore LinkedIn underscore handle variable that I had saved as. And now go look up that key from that get historical values. And I want to get every day's values, and I want to get, let's say, up to 30 days value. So I can see a 30-day trend over time, and I want to store it in out underscore track values, and then that is then passed to an LLM to clean it up, and then basically just return dates and values that I can then here send an email to the person. And so when you set this agent up, what you can do is you can, in this case, I set it up with the trigger being user configured schedule. So I don't want to sit and have to run this every day to go say, hey, go figure out what my LinkedIn count is. Instead, I wanted to run on a schedule. And so I selected that trigger, which was basically user configured schedule. And when you do that, and when you first run the agent, what it will do is it'll ask you to auto schedule. So here for now, let's go through the process. I'm just going to do it in the preview pane here. So I'll put my name, I click go, then it should ask me what my email is. And so I'm going to say, I've got my email, I click go. And now what will happen is it's going to run. It's going to then find my LinkedIn follow account, extract that using the LLM, then store it. And then after that, it'll send me an email. So couple things here is that I'll show the auto schedule functionality, then I'll show you the email that just came in. And so if you click on this auto schedule, you can actually specify these are the inputs. And in this case, it's kind of set to this. And then I want it to run at 3 a.m. And so this particular thing is going to run at 3 a.m. with those particular inputs, and it's going to email it. So ideally, 3 a.m. tomorrow morning, I should get an email which basically has the LinkedIn follower count. And so now, because I just ran this, this is going to actually manually run get my values. And so if I go back to my email here, and there you will see uh, this is my 0 minutes ago. Just the email just came in, date, value 2025, 129. I have 7858 followers. So as you can imagine, tomorrow morning at 3 a.m., this will run again. Let's say 2025 0130, and the value will be whatever my LinkedIn follower count is. And so that every day I'll get an email which kind of shows it trending over time. Hope you found this useful, and that's how the LinkedIn follower, the store value and retrieve value works.